With Pokemon being all the rage at the moment, I thought it might be quite fun to take my narrators and put them into the Pokemon universe. Let's bring these illustrations to life. Nexum, Demonica, Aeronfold, and Dino Dinoclaw were getting ready to explore a new dimension as a part of an expedition group for the Department of Multiversal Matters. Nexum was chosen as the device on his arm, and experience travelling the multiverse made him perfect to help the expedition jump out of any dangerous situation and get back safely. The higher-ups also wanted the team to continue improving their teamwork. However, after the incident at the cabin, they were wary about a mole or spy within the ranks. Someone had leaked the information about the team being there. The department had decided for this mission they'd keep the number of agents that knew about it down to a minimum, only a handful in fact. This would ensure the team's safety from Loki and his minions. In the lab, Nexum and the others entered the portal to the new dimension. As the last member of the team entered and disappeared from sight, the machine in the lab had a sudden short due to a power surge from another experiment, sending the team to a random dimension. The Department of Multiversal Matters were unable to ascertain where the expedition had actually been sent.
Whoa! Hey, Demonica, what happened? Did you see anything before you came through the portal? Something happened. I wonder what caused the rough journey to this place.
Looking around, Nexum could see an amazing scene of grassy plains, sunny blue skies, and amazing creatures. It wasn't until looking closer, Nexum noticed something strange about the creatures.
Those things look like Pokemon. But that's not right. This wasn't the dimension where I see the Pokemon that I base my mech armors on. What's going on here? Hold up. Why can't I understand these Pokemon creatures and what they're saying? What the hell is going on? My arms? What's this strange metal thing around my arm? The interdimensional doohickey also looks a bit odd. I know, there's a stream over there. Best take a look to see what else is different.
Nexum leant forward to see his reflection in the stream.
What in the multiverse? I'm a Pokemon? Well, that's kind of cool, but what's happening to the rest of the team? In fact, where is the rest of the team? And isn't that a Psyduck? No, I'm not sure where I am. Hey, I can understand what you're saying to me. Can you understand me? You can understand me as well, can't you? Either way, I need to find the others. I wonder where they are. I wonder what's happened.
Nexum, the inventor Pokemon. Type, Steel and Electric. Nexum, the dimensional inventor Pokemon. This Pokemon can often be found creating armors for other Pokemon using items and parts found from all around. This Pokemon can use dimensional travel after the strange-looking device on its arm is fully charged. This device allows for travel in the current dimension or to alternate dimensions.
Well, what manner of beasties do we have here? Shall I slay it?
It was at this moment Aeronfold noticed he had a tail and his spear was missing. He looked around at his arms and the parts of the body he can see.
This is a rather peculiar turn of events. Looks like good old Aeronfold here has become one of these strange beasties. Not to mention it seems that Nexum and the others have wound up elsewhere. Though I don't think fighting these beasties while I'm here will be a good idea. Well, not for now. With that being said, there seems to be a ruckus coming from over yonder. Let's see what it is, shall we?
Aeronfold headed over to where the sounds of a battle were coming from. As he got to a clearing, he saw two creatures battling. A fierce battle. And as it continued, Aeronfold noticed that they were able to use a range of attacks, including some special ones. That got old Aeronfold thinking, could he do that as well? And he thought about jumping in and fighting the pair. In fact, that's exactly what he did. He jumped in between the two fighting Pokemon and swung his spear-like tail around, causing them to leap backwards and create some distance. The two Pokemon did not seem happy at Aeronfold's appearance and the fact that he just attacked them. With his blood boiling, Aeronfold was getting excited to have a battle to see what he could do in this new form. As a seasoned adventurer, it was instinct that drove Aeronfold to discover what he was capable of. The fight went on for a while, with Aeronfold dodging the attacks, while attempting to counterattack with any type of special move he could do.
Although this is fun, it's not working for me to find out what special attack I can do like you two. How'd you do those fancy moves?
The two Pokemon stopped mid-attack and looked at each other in a bit of shock and surprise. They'd never met a Pokemon that couldn't use some form of special attack, especially one that was capable of standing against them on equal footing in a battle. After chatting to Erenfold for a while, the two Pokemon decided to help him, as it was a matter of gaining experience and the move would happen in its own time. Although Erenfold wanted to find the rest of the team, he got lost in the moment and decided that some more battling would be perfect. As the fight continued, Erenfold was finally getting to the brink of exhaustion. However, the two Pokemon both attacked at the same time, and as Erenfold swung his spear-like tail, it began to glow just before hitting them.
"Arr, finally looks like I've learnt a move. Seems like this move is known as Iron Tail. It is not as fancy a move as you two, but looks like I've made progress. Let's continue, shall we, fellers?"
Type: Dragon Fighting. Erenfold, the fighting Pokemon. This Pokemon is often found fighting with stronger and larger opponents in order to hone and test its fighting skills. Erenfold is a loyal Pokemon who will defend the few friends it makes regardless of how strong the opponent might be, often referred to as the adventure Pokemon. In an area next to a cave and surrounded by a forest on one side and a cave entrance on the other side, in a clearing between the two, a small green Pokemon was waking up. However, this wasn't a normal Pokemon. In fact, it was one of the expedition team that had been separated from the rest of the members. Not again. It seems like each time I go to the lab, something happens and I end up in a dimension all on my own. I wonder if this is Nexum's doing. Surely he wouldn't. Well, maybe he would. Anyway, I guess I should see what's going on around here. Just then, the ground began to shake as a loud stomping sound got closer and closer. As he looked up, Erenfold's eyes lit up with a sparkle, and as if by instinct, he pulled out a strange book from the sash and pouch on his side and opened it up in one hand. He was in awe as a prehistoric Pokemon came out of the cave. It was a Great Tusk, a mammoth-like Pokemon. To his surprise, the page was open, and in the book was information all about this Paradox Pokemon. Fascinating. Truly marvellous. This is a Paradox Pokemon, according to the book in my hands. It's similar to a mammoth and has a very interesting colour scheme. I'm not sure what a Pokemon is. However, this one is more like a dinosaur, and it doesn't seem rather friendly. And it does have quite the armour-like scales. While Great Tusk was roaming around, seemingly ignoring Dino Dinoclaw, it began to draw on Dinoclaw that his arm was still purple and like a dinosaur, but it looked a bit different. It was only at this point he noticed the shape of his shadow. Looking at his arm, he noticed he had an orange stomach and green skin. His shadow looked like a lizard or gecko type creature. As he turned around, he was intrigued to see he had a tail that looked like a leaf. What manner of form is this? I hope it's not permanent like what happened to my arm. Although I am intrigued as to what this form is and what's going on. It feels like it's my body, but it looks completely different than normal. Either way, it looks like I have this book and knowledge of the language within it. Fitting, as I'm a researcher by nature and a dinosaur expert. At this point in time, Dino Dinoclaw was so engrossed in the Paradox Pokemon Great Tusk that he completely forgot about the expedition and the other team members. Type: Grass and Ground. Dinoclaw, the dinosaur Pokemon. This Pokemon is often found studying other dinosaur and Paradox Pokemon. An expert in the prehistoric Paradox Pokemon, Dino Dinoclaw can be found tending to the wounds of these Pokemon and learning all it can. Normally a peaceful temperament, this Pokemon can be quite fierce when needed. The final member of the expedition team was Demonica, and she was sent to a cave system at night. She was surrounded by ghost and dark type Pokemon. Instead of being scared or confused by her surroundings, Demonica felt a sense of familiarity, almost as if she was back in a home dimension. She knew she wasn't, but one of her abilities was still available in this new form. Demonica had a rather unique ability, which had not been disclosed to the rest of the team members. This ability was to be able to know everything about any demon or demon-like creature she encounters. This is one of the reasons the Department of Multiverse Matters recruited her as a demonology expert, as well as this ability was perfect when dealing and studying with the demons of various dimensions. Demonica's new form looked like a mix of several ghost-type Pokemon, a rather unique and interesting look. Even the other ghost and dark Pokemon in the cave were keeping their distance. Well, That was until a haunter decided to try and pull a prank on Demonica, which didn't go down too well, and with a single glare and a bit of rage caused a powerful psychic attack, causing all the Pokemon in the cave to faint. This surprised Demonica. However, since all the Pokemon around her had fainted, she decided to explore the cave and see what she could find, as well as if there was a way out. It took a while, but Demonica finally encountered another Pokemon and a human. She stayed in the shadows to see what was happening, and she saw another Pokemon coming out of a strange ball that was thrown by the person in the cave. All of a sudden, both of the Pokemon began to fight. After a while, the person threw another Pokeball. It hit the one that was in the cave, a flash of light appeared, and the ball shook a few times before green light appeared on it. Demonica thought this was interesting and showed herself to the trainer, who took out their phone and looked at the Pokedex on it. The trainer was over the moon when they saw that Demonica was an unknown Pokemon that had never been discovered before. It was only a moment later that the trainer sent out their Pokemon and began to attack Demonica. The battle went on for a short while, and Demonica was taking her time seeing what the other Pokemon can do. After playing around for a while, Demonica defeated all the Pokemon the trainer had, and all of a sudden she began to glow, before starting to change shape and evolve. Here's our narrators as Pokemon. Which one was your favourite? I quite like Dynaclaw's design, but I also like Nexum's design. Either way, I think they all came out really cool, and for base starter forms, I quite like them. If we get enough likes on this video, we'll do a part 2 to the series where I'll show them more evolved forms, and also how they got out of this weird and wacky Pokemon universe. Wednesday, it's going to be another Pokemon themed live stream. We're going to be finishing off our Professor Turo and Miraidon illustration. The digital painting's coming on really well, and I hope you guys will join me for that. Anyway, stay safe everybody. Catch you next time.